a lot of the early lore, when it was being translated for the world, there was this kind of picture of, okay, there's the black hats and the white hats, you have the samurai over here, and then you have the ninja over there. And that was one early way of kind of making them seem different. But the fact is, a lot of samurai, because the way that stuff worked, you'd have samurai families, extended families. So like, if you have such and such a ryu or such and such a style, that would be associated with a particular family. That's how they trained, and they'd have their own training manuals, their own Bibles, so to speak, with their secret techniques and all that, and how they did the things they did. And depending on the school, the style, the family, and what era they were existing, they might be heavily into spears, the curved blade spears, like that, the naginatas. They were very popular in the early samurai days, and then they kind of got phased out in favor of the regular spears. And from what I was told, that was because the armies were growing. It was being less a case of like, you know, this tribe's warriors going to meet that tribe's warriors and have it out. It was becoming more and more warfare-like with, you know, actual big armies. And it takes a lot of skill to use the naginata. Any idiot, you can hand any idiot a spear and just teach him how to go like this. So as the armies got bigger and the training got less and fewer people with talent were involved, the armament started changing as far as fads and what, you know. So depending on the period that you're talking about, when you look at the artwork and the old battle scenes, you might see a lot of the naginatas. And then in the later artwork, you might not see so many naginatas, you'll see a lot of spears. So depending on all those things, the family Bible might be heavily on spears, swords, arrows, all that. Sword was always part of the mix. That's the primary weapon for Japan, especially in the later years. But regardless of whatever their specialty might have been, most of the families also had a section in their family manual, so to speak, for shinobi jutsu. So here's a samurai training manual that has ninja training in it. And the fact is, there was no separation like that, the white hat, black hat thing. Every group had people who did ninjutsu or had access to people who did ninjutsu. And it wasn't, you know, the ninja army kind of situation. It was, they were everywhere. It would be like having your, you know, you have the Navy and then you have the SEALs, or you have the Army and you have Rangers, you know, that kind of a thing. They're still part of that group. The idea of there being villages in the mountains of ninjas, you know, psychic, spiritual priests and stuff like that, there was some of that. I mean, there were the Yamabushi, but as far as, you know, samurai armies versus ninja armies, that's, you know, that's movie stuff. That doesn't exist like that.